What's good, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless, and I'm back with another reaction, this time to Mona Lisa by Apollo Brown and Joell Ortiz. So let's talk about it. Yes, folks, yet another joint project slash collaboration. Yes, I have talked about this many times on here already, and I have expressed my disdain and dislike for this continuing trend in music, particularly hip hop, because they rarely live up to either one of the names built on it. Now, I am a bit more lenient, I guess you could say, when it comes to the project being between a producer and a rapper instead of two different artists going on it. But even then, I don't really think the pairing has ever really lived up to what it could be. The producer often giving throwaway sounding tracks, and the artist really giving lackluster type of performances. It's hasn't really been something so far this year, or the past few years, that has really delivered anything memorable from either one. But with this one between Apollo Brown and Joell Ortiz, you, this is about as close as you could get to a perfect type of pairing, at least on paper, because they both operate in that same sort of lane, and you can really see how they could elevate each other's respective games. And not to mention that Apollo Brown has essentially made it his calling card over the last 2 or 3 years to produce entire projects for well-known lyricists in hip hop. I don't even know what number this is for him, but it feels like at least number 6 or 7 that he's put out with one artist completely. And out of all of the joint projects he's had, I would probably say that Joell Ortiz is probably the biggest name that he's had so far. And it was a nice surprise, especially considering that we haven't had anything from Joell Ortiz, single or especially project wise, in a really long time. At one point, he was definitely one of the hip hop darlings in terms of like lyricist and underrated lyricist. And he had his few runs, and then he kind of disappeared. And he came back again with Slaughterhouse and had another run, and then that whole thing fell apart. And then we just didn't really hear much from him. But in my book, he has always been one of the more underrated lyricists in hip hop, and I think most people would agree on that front. He's just never really broken through. He's always been really close to finding some of that mainstream sort of success, even signing with Dr. Dre at one point in Aftermath, but never really having that one cohesive project that has put him over the top. And while this one is a cool project, this is not going to be one that's going to really elevate his name or really, I think, insert him back in the conversation in any meaningful way. And I say that because it's extremely safe. It's safe. If you've heard any Apollo Brown project or any Apollo Brown production, you kind of already know what to expect to hear from here. And if you've heard any Joell Ortiz verse or any of his songs before, you kind of already know what to expect. Brown's beats are his signature soulful, like boom bap sound with scratches here and there. And Joell Ortiz's lyrics are his well-known street and corner lyrics about growing up in New York in the neighborhood and neighborhood talk. And they do their respective crafts very well. They haven't seemingly fall off in any sort of way. Joell Ortiz still sounds sharp and witty, and Paula Brown's beats still have a nice crisp punch to them. But it really is just more of the same. It's really easy on the ears, but it's nothing inventive, and it's nothing really to get too excited about because we've already heard this many times over with different artists in Joell Ortiz's place. This is just essential hip hop, particularly essential East Coast hip hop that all this new younger generation claims that all these old heads only want to listen to. So it's good, it's enjoyable, it's nice on the ears. It's if you already knew their sound before and you liked it, then this is what you'll get. You'll get more of it. and I won't say it's their best, but it's far from their worst. And it didn't really make me feel any sort of way, good or bad. It was just there, and if I see it, I'm gonna play it, but it's not something that I'm really going to reach for in my playlist. They just don't really seem to be out to prove anything, and that's fine. Of course, they have had, respectable careers. It's just with the amount of music that's out there, they didn't really put out anything to really cut through the noise. But if you do love that East Coast soulful boom bap sound, then I highly suggest Grace of God and Come Back Home. Those songs and the production are just simply spectacular. But for those of you that did hear Mona Lisa, what did you guys think about it? Do you think it was a bit too nostalgic sounding? Do you think they played things entirely too safe? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to head over to the official website where you can leave your own ratings and reactions to this album, other albums, and everything else I react to over there on the site. If there's anything that you would personally like me to react to, then you can also let me know in the comments down below. And if you like any of the gear that I rock in these videos like this or this, you can also head over to the official site and grab some for yourself. As always, thank you guys for joining me. If you are enjoying these videos, please smash that like and subscribe button. I will be back shortly with more reactions. Until then, I will catch you guys soon. Peace.